Hey everybody, what's up? Snow Arrows again. Today I'm going to be reviewing Lady Killer from Dark Horse. It's written by Joelle Jones and Jamie S. Rich, and the art is also by Joelle Jones. I've never read anything by her before. This was my first exposure to her. It's a comic which takes place, must be the late 50s or early 60s, very early 60s. And it's about this woman, and she's kind of, like, by day she's sort of this, she's this very, clean-cut, ladylike housewife. And by night, so to speak, she's this hitman. And eventually she wants to, she works for this company, and she eventually decides to about halfway through this trade, she decides she wants to cut her ties with this company. And it's pretty good, the art is art's kind of iffy, but the coloring's pretty good. It's very flat. There's no shading or anything, but it makes it it gives it kind of that, very sort of wholesome look, I guess, that you associate with the 50s, the McCarthy era and all that. And so it kind of sells the setting in a way. And writing's pretty good. I mean, it's good fun. There's some good action scenes. She kills some people and stuff, and it's I feel like it takes a little while for the story to get going. But once it gets going, the comic gets a lot better. For the first couple of issues, it feels a bit directionless, maybe, but it does pick up. And the main character herself is sort of interesting, like the blend of the the housewife archetype and the the femme fatale sort of archetype. They kind of mix, and it's in sort of a fun way, and that's kind of the whole point of the comic. The one thing is, though, that it occurred to me while I was reading it that if you look in between those two archetypes that are kind of welded together, there's not a whole lot more to her character or anything else really. There's nothing really new about her so much. And in that respect, she's kind of bland. And once the novelty wears off, I should say. Here you've got some vintage-looking ads. The covers of the comic also take the form of vintage-looking ads. Hang on, let me see if I can find one. By chance, if I can randomly turn to one here. It happened at the World's Fair. So that's an ad for the Seattle World's Fair. I could have done a few seconds of research and known exactly when this comic takes place, because it features the Seattle World Fair as a setting. But I didn't do that. I'm in a moment of typical No Arrows laziness. So, anyways, it's pretty good. If you're looking for a comic about a girl who kicks ass, there are a lot of them out there to choose from. And like there are others that I would recommend before this one for sure. If you really like this time period, if you like stories set in this period, and you like, blood and guts. There's not like a lot of guts, but there's some blood. I don't know. You might get into it. For me, while I started getting into it, I don't know. Like I said, it does pick up towards the end, but it just it feels like it ends right when it's starting to get good. And there is going to be there's a mini-series, and there is going to be a sequel. So, I might check that out. It looks like from the way this volume ends, it looks like it's going to head in an interesting direction. So, I don't know. Anyways, I guess I might as well just give it a score. I'll give it a 6. It's good, but there's better things out there for sure. And but yeah, if the subject matter sounds like something you'd be into. Although the thing is, the subject matter is something I would usually be into. So maybe I shouldn't even say that. Like, I picked this up kind of thinking, yeah, right, 50s housewife, she has a darker side. It sounds kind of fun. It sounds kind of like Serial Mom, that one movie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but yeah, it didn't quite, it was no Serial Mom. Let's just put it that way.